All right, guys. We're going to go into commentary mode here, and I am going to read my notes for Cesaro Cena, all 18 lines worth, and I'm going to try to do it as comprehensively and as quickly as possible without running out of breath. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. The first line that I have, the first thing that I wrote was that it was a really intense match. And then I went into the actual play-by-play. Cesaro used a crossface. Cena went for an STF a minute later. Cesaro wanted a swing. Cena countered with a DDT. Cesaro hit a dropkick on Cena while Cena was on the top turnbuckle, knocking Cena all the way to the outside, which Cesaro followed up with a running European into the barricade. Cesaro throws Cena back into the ring and goes to the top rope for a crossbody, but Cena rolls through, shifts the weight so that Cesaro is in a fireman's carry, and attempts an attitude adjustment. I think Cena attempted like 5 attitude adjustments here, and he only landed one of them. Cesaro lands on his feet from the attitude adjustment attempt. He goes for a pop-up powerbomb, but Cena counters with that Rana that you were talking about. And then Cena hits a swing bottom sit-out facebuster for a 2 count. Cena, desperate to get an attitude adjustment, Cesaro elbows his way out of it, though, and then hits a springboard spinning European uppercut that was easily the most beautiful, just photogenic, take a picture while you can moment in this match. Literally looked like a freaking finishing move in a Street Fighter video game. It was incredible. So then Cena had Cesaro up in a fireman's carry on the apron, and Cesaro tried to turn it into like a sunset flip powerbomb, but Cena held on and kicked Cesaro away. So then Cena goes for a crossbody on Cesaro, but Cesaro catches him and does a fall-away slam to Cena into the barricade. And then Cesaro kind of backs up, and it looks like he's going to go for another one of those running European uppercuts into Cena into the barricade, but he ends up getting back body dropped over the barricade, and a lot like last week, I forget who it was, on Lucha Underground last week, taking that I think it might have been Aerostar, just a completely perfect, not like shifting your weight at all, just straight over the top rope, feet first, landing flat on your back. Cesaro does that, but in the timekeeper's area. So then Cena rolls Cesaro back into the ring after this, and he goes to the top rope. Like, we know Cena likes to do the leg drop. Cesaro catches him with an uppercut, though, and then just a straight jab to the face. Cesaro went for a superplex. Cena powered out of it and headbutted Cesaro a few times to get him off the ropes, then hit his top rope leg drop again for a 2 count. Cesaro wants a swing. Cena jumps up and hits him with a surprise attitude adjustment for a freaking 2 count. And if you weren't already into this match yet, you were at this point, because then Cena now Cesaro finally gets a swing on Cena. It was about 11 rotations, and then he stepped through it. He wanted a sharpshooter in the middle of the ring. Cena started crawling towards the ropes, and Cesaro transitions the sharpshooter into a crossface, which you're thinking, well, they're right there at the rope. Cena's surely going to get it, right? Cena tried rolling Cesaro into a pinning combination, but Cesaro followed through, let the momentum carry through into, well, keeping up the crossface. So now they're dead middle of the ring. Cena manages to power out of the crossface and then locks in the STF. Cesaro kind of powers himself up to his feet while Cena is on his back in the STF, and then hits a deadlift vertical suplex transition directly out of the STF. Cena hits the springboard stunner finally, but commentary kind of played it off like he missed, just because you can never really tell depending on how the other guy sells it, whether he hits or misses. But then Cena goes for the AA, and Cesaro countered by turning himself getting AA'd into Cena getting neutralized, whatever you want to call it. Again, though, another freaking 2 count. That was the big moment that I was like, oh my God, it's it. Cena's not going to kick out of this one, but he did. So then Cena goes for a freaking tornado DDT, but a lot like what happened with Sami Zayn in their first match, Cesaro like stiffened his body up, powered through it, and transitioned it into a freaking crossface. This is like right here, this is the point where not only I, but the fans start going absolutely bonkers. We get Cesaro chants. He hits a freaking apron plex on Cena, again for a 2 count. And then Cena throws Cesaro into the ropes and hits a sit-out power bomb. for 2. Both guys at this point are just absolutely on their last legs. Cena gets to his feet first, punches Cesaro a few times, then lifts him up like he wants a middle or top rope attitude adjustment. And he's going for it. Cesaro manages to reverse it and turn it into a predicament where he can hit a super neutralizer from the middle rope. But Cena doesn't let it happen, powers through it, turns it into a super attitude adjustment, and gets the win. Match of the year candidate for sure.
Absolutely unreal. I popped for every single crossface Cesaro used.
Yeah, and they used like 3 of them.
That was just beautiful. I loved it. And he had great form, too. Just, oh no, brought me back. You guys know that. But, yeah, amazing matchup. By the way, I was thinking about, I think that person you were thinking of on Lucha Underground, that was probably Superfly, because I think he was the one that took the spot.
Yeah, you're right.
Star.
I knew it was someone that went against Sexy Star. I just couldn't think of who it was. I almost wanted to say Pentagon, but then I couldn't imagine him taking that kind of bump.
But yeah, this match was just absolutely stellar. Definitely going on my list to ponder. I mean, it's going to be a tough choice. That's probably going to be one of the toughest categories to choose. I mean, it really should be every year, but especially this year with the quality of wrestling, because you and I have been branching out so much.
Yeah, and we haven't even gotten to freaking G1 yet.
I know. But, dude, these guys have set a bar ridiculously high, and just the idea that...
And I still have a match from January 4th at the top of my match of the year list.
That was Wrestle Kingdom 9, correct?
Yeah, Nakamura Ibushi.
Yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I gotta say, man, as big of a Mundo fan as I am, I gotta echo Ashton's sentiments. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily overtaken it. I'll have to rewatch both matches down the road. But if ever a match is gonna give that Iron Man match a run for its money, this was the match. I mean,
this
Cena
might as well have been a 30-minute Iron Man match.
Yeah, really. I mean, these guys.
And that's another crazy thing too, is that as far as Lucha Underground goes, that was it was meant to be a 60-minute Iron Man match,
right.
But we only ended up seeing like 40 minutes of it because of commercials.
Right. I don't know, man. It was absolutely just insanity between Cesaro and Cena, and I loved it. Don't know if I was too crazy about what happened in the post-match, though I think it does confirm maybe some suspicions, because Cena's celebrating, and then Kevin Owens comes out. He tries to powerbomb Cena. Cena leaps over, and he hits an A on Kevin Owens, sending him out to the ring. Now, I guess the only reason I have a problem with this is you just went through a war with Cesaro.
I know, yeah, that's my thing, too. Like, you had a 30-minute match with Cesaro. I've seen you more down and out than this after 5 minutes in an Elimination Chamber match.
Exactly. And, so to me, it kind of tugged me out a little bit. I mean, not that it mattered. I mean, the match was over. But I'm like, come on, John. Like, I feel like it would have been a great moment for Kevin Owens just powerbomb Cena and then stand over him holding the U.S. Championship after he just put on a clinic and definitely earned the audience's respect because they were, again, twice in the match going, this is awesome. And then Cesaro was still in the ring, do the same damn too. So at least you get a little bit of your heat. But just the idea that he missed and got AA'd, it's just like, well, that kind of took us out of it. I guess it's still same old Cena. But while we're on the subject of this match, I just want to mention one more thing, and then I'll hand the ball back to you, see if you have any concluding statements. I went on No DQ, and they had an article, What Happened After Monday's Raw? And it says here, after tonight's episode of Raw went off the air, John Cena brought Cesaro back out and praised him for their main event match they had. Cena told Cesaro that the fans are the key to his success, and right now they love you. I think that was a quote from Cena's promo. Cena also told Cesaro that he can do things in the ring that no other man can do. It was described as a very touching moment between the two. So,
nice.
Really cool. Yeah, I almost wish that would have happened on TV. I think that's another thing, too. I think the two things, and again, it's being really nitpicky, and I'll be the first to admit that. This point more so than the other one, because the other point would be, again, just Kevin Owens getting AA. That really didn't set too right with me. But I really wish that they could have done a whole show of respect, because that was a war, again, and I really feel like you could have created nice imagery of Cesaro getting up, kind of looking Cena in the face, heavy breathing. Cena's kind of looking like, man, we killed each other. And then maybe he would have even cut this promo, and then maybe Owens could have done his attack to even up the heat even more, But, I mean, again, really nitpicks in what was a phenomenal main event match and just really segment overall with everything that led up to it. So, great stuff.
Oh, man, this was just an amazing match. I honestly, I kind of agree with you. I wish Cena would have looked more vulnerable at the end after this freaking just classic match that people are going to look back on and be like, man, that's when Cesaro's career basically restarted, and he got to where he is now, and just so good. But then the whole Owens thing, and